Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Well, good Thursday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here once again for our 2 p.m. First Alert Weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today as we take a look at some rain chances that are moving in across much of the region here in this 2 o'clock hour. We've been seeing this rain on and off. It's mostly lake effect rain that is developing off of Lake Michigan and then moving east-southeast across pretty much all of the state here during our afternoon. We start off looking at our Birch Run camera where you do see some cloud cover. This was an area that probably 2 to 3 minutes ago did have a quick shower move through. That's something you're going to see on and off for the remainder of the day. Now, I will say it's not always the case across the region. We'll actually take a look at downtown Saginaw right now where we're actually seeing some sunshine. There is some rain off in the distance. You can't see that there on the left side of your screen, just beyond the buildings there, but but definitely seeing some sunshine here at this point in the afternoon. And then we look down towards downtown Flint, and it's looking a lot worse with that rain chance. I do see, though, the sun is trying to peek out through the clouds here just to the left side of the camera. So that's something, again, we'll continue to see. You're not going to have rain all day. You're not going to have sun all day. It's going to be that mix in and out through the remainder of our Thursday, possibly into Thursday night, and then maybe into Friday morning. Still some questions there about the rain chances as we move into our Friday. But we take a look at our sky tracker. What we see is, again, these sort of pop-up showers that have continued to develop from Lake Michigan, moving to the south-southeast over the last few hours, definitely increasing in coverage here in the 2 o'clock hour. So don't be surprised if you're out maybe going to get some groceries or planning to here in the next hour or so. If you do come across a quick rain shower, it's not going to last very long, but it's enough that it's just an annoyance as you're getting out and about. I'd bring the umbrella just in case you are going out and you do get caught in one of these cells that is developing. But again, it's not an all-day thing. It's going to be in and out through the remainder of our afternoon. And I'd always like to pull away the cloud cover that we have on our sky tracker with pinpoint Doppler just to show that coverage of rain is starting to expand across mid-Michigan. Still on the drier side, though, towards Sanilac and Huron County. You do see a few cells, though, wanting to develop off the bay there in western Huron County, Tuscola County as well. Starting to finally see that development there. But it's areas to the north, you're starting to see that consistent rain wanting to pop in and out all the way down to Genesee and Shiawassee counties. And this may even be farther south now to Detroit. We can see it's moving through Lansing at this point. So not just us here in mid-Michigan seeing that impact of these spotty showers for this afternoon. Now, in terms of temperatures, very much fall-like. It's mid-40s to the lower 50s. We see areas sort of leading the way right now are West Branch at 51, Saginaw at 50. Midland right now is showing a reading of 55. That may be just a little bit higher than what's anticipated. Caseville at 51. You have Harbor Beach and Port Sanilac both at 50, and Owasso and Elma both at 52. And then you have those 40s in there, Bay City 49, Caro at 48, Holton Lake at 46, Mount Pleasant at 49. And again, once you have some rain chances that move in, that could lower your temperatures just a little bit. So if you haven't gotten rain yet and you do get one of those showers that moves through, anticipate your temperatures will drop just a little bit with that rain as it develops and falls from the sky. In terms of winds, still is a little breezy out there, 5 to 15 miles per hour. I think the biggest similarity to yesterday is definitely winds from the northwest. That really hasn't changed much. That will change in this weekend. We'll actually start to see more of a south-southeast wind as we head through the weekend. So definitely seeing some change there. And in terms of wind gusts, let's see if we can get that loaded up real quick. What we see in terms of wind gusts across the mid-Michigan area right now, West Branch right around 20 to 25 miles per hour, and then Port Hope also rating right around 26 miles per hour. So you're definitely going to catch some wind gusts through this afternoon, into this evening, overnight tonight, and then into our Friday. But again, by the weekend, it's a totally different setup for our winds. I'll actually have more information on that here in just a little bit. But looking at our afternoon/evening planner, what we have is those spotty showers continuing through the remainder of our afternoon, through 6 p.m., through midnight, into tomorrow morning. We also see those temperatures starting to drop past sunset. So staying in those upper 40s and lower 50s, I'd say through about 7 to 8 p.m. It's after that we start to see those lower 40s appear, and then past midnight we start to see those mid to upper 30s appear. May get some clear skies, maybe not as widespread rain as what we're seeing right now, but still definitely a possibility of seeing spotty showers through the remainder of this Thursday. Now quickly before I take my break, we are going to look at our weekend forecast once again. It actually looks to be a pretty nice weekend. Very fall-like, temperatures mid to lower 50s for both Saturday and Sunday. I think partly cloudy skies, those may end up turning into mostly sunny skies. We'll just have to see how high pressure sets up over the Great Lakes states here over the next couple of days. And then like I said, a southeast wind 5 to 15 miles per hour. So definitely a little bit calmer than what we had to end the week. I know there's a lot of things going on this weekend. We have events, and then football, obviously, Michigan State there in East Lansing, and then Central Michigan homecoming as UMass travels to town. So, and that's just a few of the local things going on. So luckily a nice weekend, not a rain out like we had previously. Hopefully we can continue to hold on to that into the new week and have drier conditions for many to enjoy fall-like temperatures. I see Mary says thank you. Thank you to you as well, Mary, for tuning in to our 2 p.m. First Alert Weather live stream. But I am quickly going to take a break here. Once I come back, we're going to be taking a look at that drought monitor updated this morning. Has that rain from this weekend? Did it have any impact? We'll be going over that in just a little bit. Well, welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here once again to continue our 2 p.m. First Alert Weather live stream here on this Thursday. And we're starting off with that drought monitor. Again, updated this morning, and we did see some changes for the good for the most part. Not every area had that sort of improvement. Some areas did get worse, especially to our north. Roscommon County, north of there, towards Gaylord, actually saw the growth of abnormal drought and even maybe some moderate drought. So not all areas did see that improvement. What I will say, though, is we did see areas across the Bay region, Saginaw, Bay City, out to Midland, and then into northern Tuscola County, actually lose that severe drought. So that's really what we want to see with that rain chance after this weekend. It's totally not gotten rid of the drought. We still have moderate in those areas, but Bay City, Saginaw, Midland losing that severe drought. And if you remember last week, there were some last year at this time, Bay City actually was in that severe drought at this point. So good to see that improvement. Hopefully we can continue to see rain chances. Today's rain chance obviously not included in this, and even Tuesday's rain chance. Tuesday, Wednesday, today's rain chance not going to be included on this drought monitor. That will be next week's drought if we do see improvement. I anticipate we do see a little bit in some areas that maybe are in that abnormal or moderate drought. I think severe drought, we're still falling behind just a little bit. And again, out to the west, Mount Pleasant, Clare, Alma, really all of Isabella County, still holding on to severe drought. So still need some more rain, still need that improvement, but it's good to see that we are trying to catch up here as we get through fall. And I will say we also seen a growth of that abnormal area, especially through Shiawassee, Genesee counties, out toward Tuscola and Sanilac counties. I think that's the area that has had some good improvement. Hopefully, again, we can continue to see that here over the next couple of weeks, because we do see more rain chances. Not so much this weekend. We'll have to keep an eye out towards the mid next week, maybe the end of next week, because there has been some signals on long-term models. We're not done with these sort of low pressure systems sweeping through. It's sort of the sign of the times. As we get into the fall, we start to transition into winter. We'll get those low pressure systems that pull in that colder air, that give us that rain chance. Eventually will be a snow chance, and hopefully help fight off this drought that we have continued to see grow over the previous few updates. Not so much this update here today, so always a good sign. Now, over the next couple of days, I do want to look at some of the forecasts there. Starting off Friday night lights, for anyone that's going out for the final week of the regular season, you do see a stray shower possible, but for the most part should be dry. It's on the cooler side. Temperatures in the mid to lower 40s. I think that's football weather for many. They'll get to enjoy that. And there's just a northwest wind at 5 to 10. Wind's definitely going to be on the calmer side. But I'd still just be prepared. A quick shower, similar to what we had today. Some models are suggesting we continue that into tomorrow. I think it is a way smaller chance, but it is there by the time we get to the final week of Friday Night Lights. Obviously, some important games going on, teams fighting for playoff chances here into this final week, and some teams just looking to continue their season, maybe get better seeding, maybe continue winning games. But should be a pretty nice afternoon / evening for those Friday Night Lights games and any other plans that you have going on for our Friday afternoon. Now back to today into tonight. Lows, they are going to be on the cooler end of things, right at freezing in some areas. We're looking at mid to lower 30s. There will be a few upper 30s splashed in there, but West Branch at 32, Gladwin 32, Clare at 33, down to Mount Pleasant at 35. So definitely one of those mornings you may see some frost. Obviously, we're not going to see any frost advisories. Those ended a few weeks ago with the end of growing season, which it was a little bit later than average for Michigan. Some other states have really fallen behind with that because they haven't got their first freeze. But here in Michigan, we have gotten that first freeze, and now we're starting to see more of those lower 30s creep into our lows for our forecast. Now, as we get into tomorrow for our highs, very similar to what we had today. Again, there's going to be some clouds at times. You may get some isolated showers. Temperatures right back into the mid to upper 40s and the lower 50s. I think the one change for tomorrow, you may see more widespread lower 50s than what we had today. It's going to be very close, though. Not much difference across the states and even across mid-Michigan. I think our areas lacking will be up towards Roscommon County and Ogama County. And we see that. West Branch at 48 and then Houghton Lake at 46 for our Friday afternoon. Now looking at winds, what we see is we continue to stay breezy through the remainder of our Thursday. This is 5 p.m., still seeing a northwest wind at right around 10 to 20 miles per hour, so maybe even a little bit stronger through the remainder of the day. Definitely something you're going to notice. I don't think it's any of those extreme winds that we could see, but it's definitely enough. Just make sure your decorations, if you have them outdoors, they're still in place after the afternoon, because it's just enough that you could see some of those get blown away if they're not strapped in properly. So if you have any Halloween decorations, make sure they're still there as you're waking up tomorrow morning or even through the afternoon. It's into Friday. We start to see the signals that winds want to start to flip in the opposite direction, so calming down just a little bit. This is 7 a.m. as we're heading off to school, work, or whatever your Friday plans may be. It's winds still from the northwest, but 5 to 15 miles per hour, so definitely on the calmer side. And then as we enter the weekend, we can sort of see there's a flip that gets switched. So this is Saturday morning, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Maybe you're traveling out to East Lansing for Michigan versus Michigan State, or out to Mount Pleasant for Central Michigan homecoming. Winds really don't look to be there. At most, 5 to 10 miles per hour direction-wise. I think it'll mostly be from the southeast. But if you live Huron, Tuscola, Sanilac counties, it could still be a northwest wind off the bay. So that's something we'll just keep an eye out. But again, nothing extreme in terms of winds. And then into Saturday afternoon, we continue to hold on to those calm winds for a majority of Saturday. And then into Sunday, the farthest we can go out is 6 a.m. on Sunday. Picking up just a little bit, I think the biggest change will be wind direction. Winds for Sunday could be more out of the east and again the southeast, but still relatively calm, 5 to 10 miles per hour. We'll see if they want to pick up for Sunday afternoon. I don't anticipate that, but you could still see some gusts up to 15 miles per hour. So definitely noticeable if you have any plans for Sunday afternoon. Now we look at our hour by hour. And again, continuing to show these sort of isolated to scattered showers. I will say into the later hours of the afternoon and the evening, that chance does start to lower itself. We might start to lose some of that moisture that we have in the atmosphere that's been helping create some of that pop-up showers that we have. It also starts to lower that chance. Maybe winds start to weaken just a little bit, and that will lower that lake effect chance that we have off of Lake Michigan across of mid-Michigan. As we get into Friday, we continue to hold on to a few isolated showers. Again, nowhere near as widespread. I don't think as likely as what we have today, but I think it's enough that you may head out for your Friday afternoon and you may catch a quick shower. So don't count that out through Friday as we get through the rest of our hour by hour for Friday. I think by 6 to 7 p.m., a majority of mid-Michigan should start to see high pressure move itself in. That's going to lower that chance of rain. I think if we do see any rain chances, it's going to be off of the bay into our eastern counties for Friday evening, but even that looks to be a small chance. And then by Friday night, we do start to clear out and actually see some sunshine for Saturday morning, and really sunny skies could be possible through midday. I think by Saturday afternoon, we will start to see some more cloud cover filter itself in. I don't think it's going to be totally overcast. Definitely looks to be a pretty nice day with a mix of sun and clouds, but not going to be blue skies as we're getting out and about for our Saturday. And then into Sunday, does continue to hold on to some cloud cover, especially on the southern half of mid-Michigan. This is at 6 a.m. on Sunday. So as we're waking up for our Sunday morning routine, definitely could have more cloud cover than what we previously had for Saturday. Now, taking a look at our 7-day forecast, it continues to show 40s and 50s for the next 7 days. Again, doesn't appear to have rain chances beyond Friday early in the day. Saturday, Sunday, partly cloudy skies. Monday with mostly sunny skies. And then our next rain chance after today / tomorrow, that looks to be midweek. Again, there has been some suggestion by long-term models that we could see another low pressure system, maybe another system move itself in by mid next week. Still a lot of time, still a lot that could change between now and then, but obviously that'll be our next time frame. We'll have to just keep an eye on through the weekend for any more rain chances. But with that, I am going to end the stream for today. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. As always, scan that QR code down below me. That will send you over to any of the app stores or Google Play Store, where you can download the First Alert Weather app, where the TV5 First Alert Weather team always keeps up to date, try to keep you up to date with the weather going on across mid-Michigan. You can also head over to our website at WNEM.com. There you can go to our live stream tabs. You can watch this live stream there. You can watch any of our other live streams as well that we have going on throughout the day. You can also head over to the weather tab. There you can catch more from the First Alert Weather team. And then you can also watch us on Apple and Roku TV. So if you want to catch those streams while you're sitting at home, that's another way to do it. But again, I want to thank everyone for joining us. Hopefully you can stay dry for the remainder of the day and enjoy a pretty nice weekend with a lot of events going on.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.